Presented by That Time I Got Reincarnated in the Same World as an Anime Podcaster, this is Shonen Jumping the Gun, the show where we set our sights on the first chapter of a manga and decide if it's a misfire or a bullseye.
Let's see how many rounds are in this magazine.
It's time to get off of social media, or you'll be a dead account. Welcome, everybody. I'm your social media hermit, Moxie the Een, here with my master troll and flame baiter, Isekai Sensei Sama Brad. Brad, how you doing?
I got banned.
You got banned again? Joke's on you, I have 7 more alt accounts. Fiddly dee. And as you heard, we are covering a dead account on our continuing series of the Fuck It We Ball arc, which I also think I would name, I was thinking about it when I was walking this morning, is the New Generation Killers arc.
Yeah.
'Cause these are all stuff that's had started fairly recently and are all doing great.
Yeah.
I had to bury the lead a little bit. I'm having a good time. But to get through our information,
I think they can tell from our previous episodes.
yeah, but you know, each new one we cover, you never know. Because this is the Dead Account is one you heard about and brought to me, but you haven't read it. You haven't read any more than the first chapter 2, right?
No. Yes. So same. Now you had already been reading Bug Ego.
I had already reading Bug Ego, and Shiba Inu was something that I was caught up on.
I knew you were reading Shiba Inu Rooms, and that had been talked about on the Flop Court a lot. I had not. I think I might have heard someone might have mentioned Dead Account at some point, but I didn't really think much of it. And then I was sort of asking around of like, so what should, what's cool, what's
hip,
what's going on? And someone said, you need to go read Dead Account. And I was like, I think I heard the name, but I don't know what it is. And I went, it's on K-Manga.
Yes.
So pretty easily accessible. I think the first couple chapters are free.
Mm-hmm.
I went and I read the first chapter and I got to the end and I was like, I can't read anymore. I'm not allowed to read anymore because we have to cover
and then
this.
Pitch this whole arc to me then?
I think...
Because I know when initially Bug Ego came up, Dead Account followed shortly after upon your lips.
Yeah, I think... Because I read Bug Ego and Dead Account very close together. And both of them... Because I think Bug Ego also got recommended in that same thread.
I could believe that.
And both of them, I was just like, we have to cover these.
Feels very modern.
And so...
Of now.
When we sort of saw both of those, and then you had some, and it was coming together, and it was like, we should probably just smash all these together and just go, we're reading these because they're good.
This is the hubbub.
Spoiler alert.
This is the recent hubbub, parentheses positive, because sometimes it's recent hubbub, parentheses negative.
Yeah.
Dead Account is by Shizumi Watanabe, which Wikipedia told me nothing about. They don't have a link.
Nice.
This has been running in Weekly Shonen Magazine, not Shonen Jump, that's different, since January of 2024. Wikipedia tells me there are 10 volumes. That doesn't make sense.
Nope.
Wikipedia lied to me. Is there another thing? Did I get a year wrong? That doesn't make any sense. I said, yeah, Wikipedia tells me there are 10 volumes. I don't think that's true. And also that an anime was announced like a month ago at time of recording, which I also really doubt now if it's January 2024. I must have typed a wrong number. That doesn't seem right.
Hold on a second.
Sometimes my information is off. I'm like, it's fine, but here it's just like, okay, that genuinely makes 0 sense. 2023, not 2024.
You know what?
That still seems like a lot.
There's
10 volumes seems
there's
like
96 chapters. There
feels like a lot.
There might be 10 volumes.
I mean, I guess, what? That's 2 entire years. That's like 100 chapters if it's weekly. Yeah, wow. Manga piles up quickly if it's weekly.
So while I'm looking directly at it, on K-Manga, you can read the first 4 chapters for free. And from there on, you can read what amounts to a chapter a day with the free tickets up to chapter... All of it. Okay.
Cool. Noted.
Only the latest chapter
is behind.
do you have to pay for?
That's fine.
Chill. The last 3 chapters are completely free, not even tickets.
Wild.
So I guess after a week, it becomes free.
Gamba.
Which this seems crazy to me because there's other series on K-Manga that are not doing this that are worse than this. Why is this one?
Because it's popular. Why would you make it hard to access?
Actually,
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
So what? So I guess it's been running for 2 years and change for where we are in 2025.
Right. The first chapter
An anime announcement feels so early.
No, this says
but maybe
November
not.
27th, 2024. Maybe that's just...
Because that was when it started getting localized.
The first...
I double-checked that my number was wrong. The Wikipedia said 2023, not 2024.
Yeah, K-Manga must have picked this up.
Yep.
Because the first... Holy crap, a lot.
There was 90-something, which makes sense.
The first 80 chapters dropped on November 27th.
Yeah, so they got to it. They got to it later. So because they were like, "Oh, this is good." So yeah, there might be an anime coming. Don't know, or it was at least announced, whatever that means in current climate. But with that knowledge date chapter-based debacle, let's get into
what? If this is in, you said Weekly Shonen Magazine.
Yes.
There's probably actually more chapters.
So that's what I was saying. If this started at the
96.
beginning of 2023 and it's getting a chapter most every week, that's around 100 chapters by now.
Yeah, I bet K-Manga picks them up a week or 2 after they're in the magazine.
Also, they just took a while to start localizing them in the first place on
Right.
K-Manga. I'm sure this was on like Manga Dex fairly early on, but I don't know that. But with all that out of the way, it is now time for my patented Moxie's Mox Speed manga summary. Do you use social media? Bet you do. But what happens to your account when you die? They keep piling up, but they're unused, right? I don't think so. Chapter 1, The Ultimate Flame Baiter. Getting hot here. We open up in a stream by our main character. Not like a digital stream, not like a water stream, now that I say that out loud. He's about to crash the home of an MMA tuber and fight him for views. He taunts him and then beats the snot out of the MMA man while being a huge shithead. This is Soji and Shiro, a 15-year-old high school dropout, and he's now running from the police after the fight, overjoyed at how many views his stream got. Keep those flames coming in. Controversy creates cash, and he's loving every minute of it. But wait, Akari, should you be sitting up? We meet his younger sister now, Akari and Shiro, who is in hospital. She's been messaging him, but he's been too busy to respond, but he brought cake. Akari calls him out. How many snacks have you eaten today? I told you to only eat 1. You bought that cake for yourself. Have you been doing any of the things I've been telling you to do to live a healthy life? You really are hopeless without me. And with that, she starts eating the cake. But oh no, she's coughing, and not on the cake. Just be patient, Akari. The nurse is coming and you'll get better. Next month we'll be in America with the best doctors, so don't you worry about a thing, especially where I, a 15-year-old, is getting this amount of money. I've just got an amazing paying job. Don't think about it. That annoying man at the facility always said don't lead a life that bothers others, and maybe if he had any actually good skills, he would get a real job. But Soji's knack is for fighting, so that's what he does. Even if everybody on Earth hates him, as long as his little sister is okay, he's chill, so keep your vitriol coming. 1 month later, and his account has seemingly been taken down. There's rumors he was taken to Maiden Academy, supposedly a special school where they reform those obsessed with their phones. Scary torture stuff, but it's just an urban legend. We see Soji in his trash-filled room eating pudding. A mysterious object under a blanket is shown. He's ranking them and texts Akari about it, who texts him back to stop eating so many snacks. She also says she's feeling much better and will be released soon. Everything seems great. Then at night, a mysterious man with a sledgehammer attempts to smash Soji's phone. Dude's kind of quirky, but is unable to get the job done as Soji flees. The dude gives chase and the two fight. Soji is holding his ground pretty well. The man knows his name and YouTuber channel and talks about how much he hated all of Soji's videos. Soji's like, too right. Please don't kill me, but feel free to kick my ass. I get it. But just don't smash my phone. I need it to save my sister. Actually, let me text her right now. I don't care about you, he says. I have to destroy your phone. And what the heck are you talking about texting your sister? She died a month ago. The sheet slips in the room showing her memorial photo and presumably ashes. Soji couldn't accept the truth. He's been in denial. But who's been texting him this whole time? It really sounded like Akari texting him. We hear Akari's voice from the phone and see her distorted face. She is alive! And in that moment, the dude knocks the phone out of Soji's hands. But just as the hammer is about to hit the screen, a digital ghost of Akari appears, thanking Soji until it creepypasta distorts into a ghoulish monster. That's not your sister. Hanako-san had the bathroom, Sadako-san had her well. In the modern era, ghosts can be attached to smartphones from the emotional attachment. She is now a dead account. Dude was trying to destroy the phone before she appeared, but here we are. Now the hammer won't work. He's got to get his phone. Digital means to fight digital ghosts. He reaches in and pulls out a magic hammer, which Soji can see, which just surprises the dude. And the dude proceeds to smash the heck out of the monster. Soji tries to stop him. That's my sister, dude, but she's not anymore. She's dead, Soji. People die and are gone. Get it through your head and learn to live with it. The Akari monster smacks the dude and things are looking bad as Soji thinks over everything with his sister. He reaches into his phone and pulls out flaming hands. He digitized his own spirit power and punches the monster as he talks about letting go. We get a splash page of all of our uniformed people at the scene and learn a bunch of their names, but that's not important right now. They each have strong designs and clear personalities. In a good way. I know I've glossed. Sometimes when I get too much exposition, I get antsy and I go, "This is stupid. Shut up." But here it was done well. This is one chapter. It didn't seem important in our summary of what we need right now. But understand that's what's happening.
They all have really cool designs.
Yes. We learn Soji is a flame baiter, but his flames were blue, which is special. The sensei of the group wants to take him with the rest of them back to Maiden Academy to train him. End of chapter 1. Yo.
Hey, you know what? I'm not sick of exorcism manga anymore.
What a fresh, cool, current take on the genre. That's like that gives you a question, that gives you a good like, here's our power things. It gives you the game of smash the phone, or then you have to fight the monster. Like it made you think about digital ghosts. Which, you know what, Brad? We've thought about digital ghosts because I wrote a play about it that you helped me write. So I think about digital ghosts a lot.
This reads to me like a modern, which is weird to say modern, but a modern Bleach.
Yeah. This
and like really good.
It's kind of wild to me. This is not in Shonen Jump.
Yeah,
this belongs in Shonen Jump as much. I mean, I guess maybe it also belongs in Weekly Shonen Jump.
More so
I don't
than
know.
Shinobi Undercover.
Yes, like this feels like your finger is on the pulse of we're doing the kid fighting spirits. Yeah,
right.
Modern Bleach. I mean, modern what? 2 decades later.
I guess Bleach only ended a little while ago.
I'm hollowing out. That was too wet of a sound.
I think Bleach ended after this started, so that's
well after this started.
Not
Bleach ended well before this started.
But Bleach started a very long time ago.
That's what I'm saying.
It has the DNA of Bleach, where it's like it's exorcist stuff, but he's a kid, but he's got the special powers, and they're gonna do the thing, and they all line up and they have the robes, and it's
like the fight, like when he pulls out the magic hammer design is cool, and he has like a named attack that is really well drawn over like a couple pages. Like it has all the things that I want out of this. I think the inclusion of phones was done really well. I feel like it'd be really easy to make that in a super kind of cringy, out of touch way, but like it, like the idea of like what happens to accounts when they die, and obviously that's like a stupid question, but when you have that spiritual sense, like, and it's like a digital ghost, and it's like that's such a cool. It's a
new and interesting concept for the exorcist space that has been so filled with crap recently.
So we're just regurgitating the same things over. Like what a neat current take I hadn't seen before.
Yeah.
And also just doing all the pieces right.
Yeah.
It's like we're going to be fighting, but we're also going to ask emotional questions. Like that's what I want. I want both of those things.
I fucking felt that when like his sister is sick, and then you cut to like he's texting her, and you're like, oh good, and then it's like, no, she's dead, and it's like, oh shit.
Were you surprised? Because when I got,
I wasn't surprised, but it still hurt.
Yes, but like I don't know, maybe because you see things sometimes before I do. Is that when I got the reveal, and I'm like, I bet Brad knew that's what happened the moment that thing was shown, because he's super smart, and I was. And it's like, as soon as I saw it, like, well, of course, like it makes sense now. Yeah. But yeah, like the fact that he's texting with her, and it's still responding like her, and admittedly it's like everything's fine. I'm like, that seems weird, but also it's like a month later, so I would say maybe she got her medicine, she got to go to America. Like
as soon as it showed up and it was like, oh, he's being a shithead to take care of his sick sister who's in the hospital, I was like, well, there's your inciting incident. but I didn't know how it was going to happen.
But did you think she was going to die? Because she could still stick around as like a
right?
Well,
so I was like, is she actually going to go to America? Is she going to die over there? Is she going to get in a plane crash on the way back after she got healed? Because that would fucking suck.
Tragic. I like that it's just the right amount of tragedy.
But I think the way they did it was really, really good. Where it's like he is hanging on to a piece of her and not accepting the fact that she's gone. That's so real.
And then like
it's a real feeling.
Her phone, because I do feel like there's a thing, like I haven't come across this in my own life, thankfully, knock on wood, but it's just like I know there's people where it's just like I still have the last text this person sent me and I can't bear to delete them, even if they're banal, because it's these last little digital vestiges of when I was talking to this person.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's somewhere emotional. Like that's what this works, is like I'm having fun of like Shonen setup, but also like I'm thinking about things emotionally that I've like never thought about in these contexts before. And I think that's what makes this like, I read this and got so excited about the things it was doing, and and also just that it was having fun while it was doing it.
Yeah.
Like the whole fight between our main guy and the dude with the sledgehammer, it's like there's multiple times where he's like, I'm gonna get you, asshole, and he's like, I shouldn't have sworn, that was bad, I'm sorry, bud, I shouldn't. And it's like, what a fun little, like, it reminds me of like these manga characters where it's like they have a weird little gimmick that's like, this is how to show their character traits. And it's like, yes, this is doing everything I want out of a new big shonen thing of the year, of the decade 2020.
Well, and let's not forget, because this is really important for this stuff, it looks fucking awesome.
It looks great.
Like, really, really good. The designs are amazing. The choreography is there.
Composition.
The backgrounds. Literally everything about it is immaculate.
Popping off.
The kind of thing where you go, wait a minute, they're putting this out every week?
Yeah, I know. This should be in Jump.
Of course, the chapter we read was...
Maybe Jump said die. I don't know. I didn't say that.
Is that longer than... But yeah.
I think this chapter was about the length of a normal first Jump chapter. I don't think I double-checked the page count, but it seemed right via length and feeling.
I don't know what the normal weekly chapter length is for
Jump is like
Shonen Magazine.
20-something,
right.
Low 20s.
But is Weekly Shonen Magazine the same?
Truth, I don't know. What was we at? Hey, we only had the first chapter.
Yeah.
But no, I had a blast with this. Like, I would just keep poking at this and reading this, like, genuinely.
And now I can finally
free
read
to do it.
more of this. It's been weeks.
I feel like, actually, no, we'll get into that later. We said the art, the story.
And hey, you can only read a chapter a day after 4 chapters, so that works out.
Yeah. Where do we think this is going? Like, obviously, they're going to the academy. I love the way that is teased of, like, it's an urban legend of this is where you go and you see, like, Clockwork Orange style, like, people with their eyes held open, shock therapy and all this. And it's like, what? Yeah, like, especially because, like, there's bits of, like, they talk about Hanako-san and Sadako-san where it's just, like, this is like lore. This is urban myth.
So it's like
I love that.
The sort of spirits of the world, the yokai and everything have sort of morphed with the times in this world.
No, that's not how I read it. The point they make is like they had spots that they were emotionally connected to, but now we are emotionally connected to this thing we hold in our pockets.
Right,
like, it is the world to us, and that's why the ghosts connect to it.
So that's how the yokai worked. I mean, you talk about Turbo Granny, right?
Oh yeah,
Turbo Granny manifested because of all the girls who were murdered in that tunnel or whatever, right? And so she's the manifestation of that. Resentment to the world, right? And I think this is sort of going to be shifting that, where it's like, this is how yokai and spirits and everything happened in the past, and now in our modern age, our focus has shifted.
Because we have an emotional attachment to the phone. The phone, to an extent, is our world. So instead of a physical place you're attached to the phone, and I'm curious to see how that rule set plays out and the different ways that you can mess around with that. I'm excited to see everybody's different power sets, because I know they're gonna, like, they've clearly thought about it, and that's like fun. Like, we've set up, like, he's a flame baiter. What's that? And it's like, oh, his things are blue, but not everybody's are like that. Like, there's just enough little.
We did lose a little bit with not having color there, but
it was soon enough that it was fine. But it looked great. It looked really cool. It was very exciting.
Yellow or what?
Yeah. Like, I'm excited to go back to be like, I mean, the Academy of, like, I guess, did Bleach have something like that? I'm thinking of, like,
Bleach didn't really have
Jujutsu Kaisen, of everybody going back to the school then. Yeah. Well, not an Academy arc, just like this is the hub. I think of Jujutsu Kaisen, Naruto to a lesser extent. I keep going; they're just my well to go to. But like other things where it's like unexpected character gets pulled into more going on. So Yuji's kind of at the top of my brain.
Yeah, Bleach didn't really. Bleach was sort of an outlier in that respect.
Yeah,
where it sort of just kept doing things and not being stuck in a certain spot. I
think that's just the hub. I think they'll go. It's a good place to be like, okay, we're going out with this gang to do missions, but also I don't know if that's going to happen. But I feel like it isn't. It's like it's what I want. Things I want from this manga. Take your effing time. We've had conversations about it. Like, I'm so intrigued. Like, have times for little emotional stories. Don't be like, and maybe because this isn't in Jump, it won't do that. It can freaking just have fun and meet the characters.
Well, and there's 96 chapters available. I think they're doing it.
Yeah. I hope so. Well, I mean, they have to if they're still. I mean, they're still running. I don't know how Cutthroat Weekly is, but, yeah. Things. What do I want more of? What do I want less of? I'm curious how over he's going to be of his sister's loss or not. Like he could be totally cleared of it, and it's just like, okay, you're freed of everything what you were doing. It's like not that I've seen all of it, but it gives me a sense of Yu Yu Hakusho. It's like, okay, you're freed of your earthly stuff. Go have your spirit adventure. Which is again fine. Like, let's go to these other characters. Like, we don't need these things because it was his whole story was that like I only cared about my sister. Clearly, parents are dead. Like, maybe there's a sensation. There's a vague sense of like there's people at the orphanage, but we don't need that. It's like he didn't have friends because he was just constantly beating the shit out of people for rage money.
I hope he doesn't lose the sort of asshole streak because they sort of alluded it like, oh, he's just like that for the views.
But I think it's in there somewhere.
Yeah, I don't want him.
I think he's still like a punk shitster
right.
at times.
I don't want him.
He's bad.
I don't want him to be like that constantly, but I want him to be like that to sort of certain people and the bad guys.
Yeah. Yep. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I like when a main character, a protag, can have like a little bit of a jerk streak to him every so often. Like, it's fun to have a little bit of that edge in there. I'm just like, no, F you, it's fun to see that and not just be constant little wilting wallflowers.
Right.
What do you want more or less of? What are you predicting?
I mean, I think I'm fine if this just does sort of the standard Shonen Battler stuff, but with this sort of new setting that it's in.
Yeah.
Of this sort of like,
because it gets to tell emotional stories of people of like of loss. I feel like Demon Slayer comes to mind, where it's just like these demons are born out of this sad backstory, except I think hopefully the backstories will be good and not just like, oh my gosh, get over it.
I'm fine with a sad backstory, but like it can't be half the episode and it can't just happen right before you cut his head off.
No, but I feel like it can set up and get more depth as you go. Because then it makes the like them fighting. It's the thing that I love about Shonen stuff, where it's like you get a cool fight, but also the fight is the emotional climax of what's happening. It's how I would write the things that I write if I could have fights in them. But instead, somebody just gives a big speech. Somebody monologues for a second.
We need to add a battle to the graveyard.
I genuinely want to attempt to write a short play that is born out of Shonen gobbledygook. And I mean that the most respectful, excited way. It's like, I want to bring my dumb anime bullshit to these... college English people, whatever. It's just like this is the drivel I swill, and I want it to show in my work. I want to write plays for people who aren't going to see plays, but they should be.
Yeah.
I feel like we're ready for our Thinky Thinks and our Feely Feels, right?
Yeah.
You got anything more?
I guess. I can't read my own handwriting.
Yeah.
More of, less of. What's the last
Something
one?
to add.
Oh, okay. Well, how is that different?
Ooh!
What the?
No, I just thought of something with something. I cut some of that because it was nothing. I thought hit me something to add. We're missing one major thing. That it's not too late because we learned with Naruto he doesn't show up for a while. We need a rival.
Oh yeah,
specifically, and maybe it's the guy that we've already
first
had.
One, yeah.
I don't know though. He doesn't necessarily have to be. Maybe there's a rival school. Like, who knows how this works?
Yeah.
Like, why are they all teens? Because they're into their phones,
What if he's everyone is his rival because he's a jerk?
Yeah. No, but you always need that one that's specifically like pushing you on, or maybe somebody who came before and like left and turned evil. Like, there's so many tropes, but it's just like, I love me a good like proper rival specifically, even if like because Naruto, like everybody's Naruto's rival, but like Sasuke's is Naruto's rival.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I feel like that could be what happens here, but maybe that's just me.
No, it's Kiba.
Genre. You're my rival. No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
I'm going to be the Hokage before you, Naruto.
Go pet your dog. Go touch grass, boy.
Fang over Fang.
Yeah.
He only does the one move he does the whole
My dog
time.
becomes a human. Don't think about the implication. Don't think about the implication.
No. He becomes a second head on his dog.
What?
And they're a bigger dog.
No, when he does Beast Fang attack, his Akamaru becomes another Kiba-shaped human. And
Yeah.
they do the
No,
spin blade.
but the next one.
No, back on track. We can have another Naruto episode we want to. It's not this one. Thinky thinks and feely feels. I think this is great, almost amazing. I think this is just like, yes, fuck, this is the thing I've been asking for. This feels like the thing that picks all the things up from before and it uses it in a new thing. Like, it just did all the things that I wanted and I've been asking for in a new package. I don't feel like I'm being like, it doesn't feel like a throwback. It just feels like the next thing in the line, and that's what I wanted. So great burgeoning on amazing for me as a shonen battler lover.
Is that your thoughts and feelings?
Yes, I'm gonna say yes. I think it's great. I feel that it is great burgeoning on amazing because it gave me a thing that I've been looking for, which is the next biological link in the chain. Whether it will actually reach that height, I don't know. But it, as a scholar on such matters, it feels like it, and I like that. It's exciting.
Well,
I think it's just good.
Here's the thing. We need to break out the champagne because I know this is amazing.
Yo! Modern killers. The modern killers. Forget Fuck It We Ball arc. Modern killers are. Modern. Not gems is too small of a statement. Yes, please, thank you. Hell yeah. That's your thinky thinking feely feel?
Yeah, there's no question about this.
Just did everything
I'm
right.
gonna read. I have this thing where it's like and in fact we talked about it recently. I don't think you heard that episode yet, but where I go, I'm gonna read more of this, but then like I don't either right away or for a while. But like
Especially
literally
when it's not on the jump map.
I'm gonna go read more of this tonight.
Brad, I'm gonna move to the next topic and say something that might surprise you. I'm going to physically buy, if I can in America, the first volume of this so I read it.
I mean, technically, I'm going to buy this because it's on K manga, but
I'm going to physically...
You want to own the Tankaban.
I am... Some of this is... Half of this is like, if it is a physical object in my home, it will be read at some point more than a digital thing, especially on a website in an app I don't use and don't like dealing with other apps that aren't the Jump app.
Yeah.
And even if it's on the Jump app, it doesn't assure that I read it. But also, homeboy got a big raise recently, and I felt the first paycheck of that. And buying physical things feels like, and I just need to figure out, and I just launder them out.
I'm rich, bitch!
I buy it, and then if I like it, I get the next one, and if I love it, I keep it, and if I don't, it goes to the bookstore.
Yeah.
And then I use some of that credit to buy the next one or something else I want to read or something like that. So,
yeah, I if I wasn't
or a video
already
game I
using
buy.
K manga for other stuff,
yeah.
I think that would be a good route to go. But in fact, I check K manga every day. There's at least 5 series on there that I'm currently reading. I give them $25 a month, I want to say at this point.
But yeah, it is my intention. I'm going to go check the Barnes & Noble. And if it is there, I'm going to physically go there at some point this week. And I'm going to buy it so it lives in my house. So I read it. Because I really want to. I want to genuinely put my money where my mouth is. Because this is the thing that it's like, you're doing it.
We literally need to get some champagne.
We do. This is popping bottles. This is a popping bottles moment. Like, I love the other things because I was already reading them. But this is a hope.
This is
excitement.
This is the closest I've come to whatever the weird joke top one is of I think maybe anything we've read.
Yeah, I don't think I'm there. I think this would need to have more of my personal bullshit to get there. I feel like that's what the joke ones become, is like either you so specifically spat in my personal cereal bowl or you so specifically spat into my mouth, parentheses, I'm into that, double parentheses, I personally am not into that, but I know people are. Like,
if I was into that, I would be into that.
If I was into I'm struck by Space Brothers. This manga is shaped like itself. It's just like one of the like my favorite things I've ever said. If I was into that, I'd be into that.
I like this more than Astro Baby.
This Astro Baby stuff Astro Baby was doing.
I love Astro Baby.
Yeah. But this is something more specific to what we cover a lot of, and a lot of failed versions of recently.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think this is like, there had to be more my flavor, my specific, like, me as a general human enjoys this greatly, but like, but I never was like, yo, like, my specific flavor of bullshit.
Yeah.
I think that's what elevates something from amazing to
if
anything happens to this.
If the person who came to smash the phone was a wolf boy, you would have lost your shit.
I don't know about that. There was more posing involved. I don't know. The femme designs were like fine. Like, you know, just again, my glass house bullshit.
Yeah.
The things that exist is why I shouldn't be throwing stones ever, even though I do. I'm a flame baiter. You got anything else? I think we're done.
Yeah.
I think this is one of the most glowing we've been outside of like. I'm remembering Planetest, but like Planetest was such a special little like this is clearly an anthology series and is not trying to do any of the normal manga stuff. I think this is our first like you're trying to do manga things, shonen-y manga things. I think this is our highest rated one of those because I don't think we've had amazing for any of those.
Yeah.
From chapter 1.
So
and it's such promise.
I think I want to do this. We didn't specifically do this because I didn't think of it at the time. I'm going to go look and see who recommended this because they definitely need to get credit. You know who recommended this?
Who?
Spubby.
Ha! Knocking it out of the park.
They were confused when I called them out on our recent A Gravity Boys episode.
I don't think this is really releasing physically.
It doesn't really surprise me.
I will have to continue. I'll have to keep digging, but I might have to just straight up read it online in the case there I didn't want to do that.
At least you can get it for free.
True. Yeah, I do want to read more of it.
Well, anyway, thanks, Spubby, for
Thank you, Spubby.
recommending
Holy
this.
heck, I like one of the key no, there's only 4 episodes in this arc, but one of the major things we wanted to cover and like, oh my gosh, did not know about this and I am so bowled over by it.
Yeah.
But with that, Brad, dial it in, hit me with them plugs.
Well, as always, we want to thank Sugoi Mart for partnering with us. Sugoi Mart's a retailer of Japanese snacks, drinks, toys, and merch, and they've got a lot of cool stuff you can't get outside Japan. Our listeners can click the link in the description or use code APR15 at checkout to get 15% off their first order. We want to hear from you, so check out our website, animepodcasterreincarnation.com, where you can find links to all our social media. The big one for us is Discord, so come on our Discord and chat with us about all the episodes, among other things. You can also find a link up there to our Patreon. Our supporters get perks like bonus episodes, getting the high-quality stereo version of the podcast early, and getting to vote on what we cover on heroin addiction. And of course, we need to shout out our patrons. So first and foremost, at our noble tier, we have our marquee, Sir Cake Dwarf. At our Reincarnator tier, we've got Moon. And last but not least, at our commoner tier, we've got Rena. So thank you so much to all our patrons.
Thank you, patrons. Thank you, Brad, for doing that. Thank you to all of our listeners. Make sure you listen to all the podcasts on our feed. And Brad, if dead social media creates count that thing, what happens to our podcast feed when we're gone?
I wouldn't know. I'm still banned.
Elon says it's time to get off social media. It's dead account. Genuinely one of my favorite parts of our episode is just like, let's just kind of work together, figure out what the intro is going to be. I did write these ones, though.
Oh my God, did you write an outro?
No, never.
That's the thing
Literally.
you've been failing at.
No, I actively don't, because sometimes I want to leave that open for like a gag that happens during the episode, and you know what happens? That normally doesn't happen. But I always wanted it to be just the stupid shit that pops up into my brain at the last minute. That's what it's supposed to be. Do you do the
Sometimes.
Especially where I, a 15-year-old, is getting a money. He's getting a money. I feel like it's just you start playing a really distorted, like, monstrous version of, like, one of my intros, and then we both start screaming.
There is a sort of like a ghost in the machine kind of thing with that, where it's like, yeah, I mean, if no one unconnects, well, no, it'll be on YouTube forever, right?
But, you know, there's also to all this, there's also, I should have put this in the episode because I was thinking about it, but I never knew how to fully say it and where to put it. There's a concept, this reminds me a little bit of Monster Rancher. Do you remember Monster Rancher that you'd put CDs in?
Yeah.
And it would generate the monsters, where it's like, you have a monster generated on what was on the phone.
Yeah.
The spirit is different, and I kind of like that.
But you think about it, like, we have hundreds of hours of our conversations up there, like, and, you know, even though it might get taken down from the podcast feed if I stop paying for it, it'll be on YouTube until YouTube goes under.
Yeah.
So,
And even then, who knows? It could be somewhere else. Who knows? So, I don't know. Stuff to think about.
yeah. Make sure you download all of our episodes so you can archive it.
Yeah.